Obviously, the new one is the new one, but you know what I'm saying. There's sections of that old one you can go on. This is Laupo Hoi Hoi Point to our left. Used to be a school down here a long time ago. 1946, April 1st, 1946 is the day that school closed. I mean, it didn't get closed, it got destroyed. It was a tsunami. Earthquake in Alaska generated a tsunami. But the problem is, it was a really big problem, the school was in session.
That's terrible. Did they have loss of life a lot?
What, say it again?
Did they have a lot of loss of life with?
Over 33 people, mostly children. Terrible, yes. Terrible is an understatement. That disaster opened everybody's eyes. So why don't we have a tsunami warning system? And the Pacific tsunami warning system we have today is a direct result of that.
Do Hawaiians tend to listen to those warnings pretty carefully now, or is there still those that don't?
No, they will. Yes, they do. Kind of. It depends. So, yeah, the only real tsunami that I've been here for was the Fukushima disaster, the Japan tsunami 2011. I was here for that one. What was October 2011, I think. I was watching the news and it was crazy. Like most everybody got out of the way and was up slopes and waiting, you know. And then they're showing footage of the shoreline down in like Waikiki or something, and you see some dudes out there paddling their surfboards out because they were gonna catch the wave.
That's just crazy.
Are you kidding me? I don't think they had any idea how dumb that was. Yeah. Probably just teenagers.
Definitely young kids.
Yeah. So the new highway today that you drive on right up there, you can see the cars going on it. But right below us is some of the old highway. Now this particular area is closed, you can't go on it. But this is that same road that scenic detour was on. Most of it's all pretty overgrown. Every once in a while, the farmers that own this land, they'll come down here. I've seen them on their big tractors running through and smashing down all the weeds and stuff on the road, so they can still get through. These are all eucalyptus trees. Notice this section right in front of us that's a little shorter. There's like a big square here that's just a little shorter. Those were the trees cut in 2012 and shipped to China. Look how they've regrown. 10 years, these are 10-year-old trees, and they're almost as tall as their older siblings. That's a huge part of why they chose these eucalyptus trees. They grow incredibly fast. One of the farmers gave up on the eucalyptus tree thing right here in front of us recently, just last summer actually. They cut down, it's this big square and there's something else going on down here. They cut it all down. The trees are just stacked up along the side of the field, and then they've got something else they're growing instead. I don't know what it is. That's all 1-year-old trees. Look how big they're getting. Wish I knew what it was.
Are there always so many whitecaps out here?
This side of the island, yes. This side, typically very strong winds and huge waves. So much so, two things as a result of that. Well, actually, first of all, look at the trees on the left. You can see they're all flagged, they're all bent over one way. They grow crooked like that because the wind is so often blowing down this shoreline. But what happens is, the wind and the waves creates a lot of erosion on the shoreline, which is great at making cliffs. But it tends to wash away the sand. So we don't really have any beaches over here. But that's only half the problem as far as the beaches go. This side of the island in particular, that's why mostly there's no beaches. But in general, we don't have that many beaches on the Big Island anyway, because the Big Island is a young island. And beaches take a really long time to form. So there just aren't that many on this island yet. But the best ones are going to be over on the west side, where it's more sheltered and protected from the wind and the waves. Town of Honoka'a, right up here on the left. Did you drive all the way down this way to Honoka'a? No, just to Akaka and back.
Yeah, we went through the island to Hilo directly.
If you do end up down here, Honoka'a, then the highway turns here and goes up over the hill into Waimea and then back to the dry side. But there's a little restaurant up here. It's called Tex Drive-In. They make the best malasadas on the island.
We had our first ones yesterday. They're so delicious.
I know, aren't they? They're like evil delicious. They're so good. Making me hungry now thinking about it. Yeah, Tex Drive-In. They make good ones. You can get them anywhere though. They're all good. That's a power plant right here. Now this is diesel fuel operated, and that's how most of electricity on the island is generated. Diesel fuel. Which is a bit unfortunate. It's a super expensive way to do it. We got to pay 4 times the national average for electricity.
What kind of food were you talking about?
Malasadas. Oh, malasada is the Hawaiian version of a donut. Yeah, they don't.
Delicious.
Yeah, it's like a pastry. It's just like a pastry. They're so good. You can get cream-filled ones, custard-filled, and you know, yeah, I don't know, cherries in them, whatever. Or they're just the plain ones. It's just like donuts. But they have a slightly different flavor, just a little.
And where can you get them?
Well, this restaurant here, Tex Drive-In, they're island famous for their malasadas. So if you ask anybody where's the best malasadas on the island, a lot of them are going to tell you Tex Drive-In. But that's far from the only place. You can get them all over. Like any of the grocery stores, you go into the bakery, they'll have them for sure. So all of the bakeries, at the grocery stores. There's, near Hapuna Beach, there's a little food truck, a little blue one. They have really good malasadas too. I always wondered if a lot of times people don't, like when they see malasada on the menu, they never try it because it's a foreign word and they just don't know what it is.
I had no idea what it was when we tried it. My friend just said you have to try them, so
Yeah.
we did.
Exactly. Well, the North Cliffs of Kohala are right in front of us. There's a little lighthouse on the corner too, Kukui Haele Lighthouse. The geologists believe about 250,000 years ago, the north side of Kohala broke. A chunk broke away, fell into the ocean, generated a mega tsunami, like we were talking earlier. Left behind an amazing shoreline though. And Waipio Valley, so the most famous valley on the island, Waipio, it's right here. Also known as the Valley of the Kings, because the kings of the island once lived right here, where they called home. Beautiful.